Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I decided to record this look for you today. This is a perfect look to use for a date night, or if you kind of want a smoky glam but not too much, then this is definitely a good look for you. So if you're interested in learning how I got this look today, then just keep on watching. This is a talk through video, so it will have a lot of detail. So if you're interested, then keep on watching, and thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye. Hey guys, so first we're going to go ahead and prime our lids. I like to use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer because it leaves me with a semi-matte finish. I know some people like to use the Tarte Shape Tape, but to me, Shape Tape is a little bit dry, so I prefer a semi-matte type of finish for my priming concealer. So I'm going to put that all over the lid here. And I'm using the shade NC45. Then I'm going to go ahead and set that concealer so that it doesn't budge. And I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder just on a Real Techniques setting brush or any fluffy brush. So the shadows we're going to be working with today are these here at the bottom. And I'm going to go in first with Coastal Scents Tangelo Tint, which is like a yellow-orange color. And I'm taking the Luxie Beauty Blender Taping Brush. This is the 205. And I'm going to put that right in my, as a transition. Now I did already start with my eyebrows on. If you do want an in-depth tutorial for my eyebrows, then just let me know down below. Okay. Then the next color I'm going to take is Coastal Scents Timeless Taupe. This is just a taupey brown color, and I'm taking it on another fluffy brush. Actually, I'm going to take the same one I'm taking it on another fluffy brush. This is just the brush that came in my Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, just the fluffy end. I don't know, this one looked different than the other Urban Decay brushes that I got out of the Naked series, but it's this fluffy one like this. And I'm taking that Timeless Taupe, and I'm going to put that right below that orange color. And of course, build it up as much as you want. And because we are creating a halo eye, I am doing this motion. So I'm doing windshield wipers and then bring it on the inner corner and the outer corners. Now guys, I cannot stress how important it is to have a really good mirror. So I have a lighted mirror, two-sided lighted mirror like this one. And my eyeshadow fell on the floor. But a two-sided lighted mirror like this one is magnetized, so it's really easy for me to see close up. I don't understand how people can take little compact mirrors and just look from afar. Like, I can't do that. I need to see up close and personal, all in my grill. But I do flip back and forth between the magnetized side and the non-magnetized side, just so that, you know, I can really see what I'm doing. So just want to build it up until it's as intense as you want it. Okay. And when it comes to blending, it's a lot of back and forth. So you put a shadow on, and then sometimes you need to go back with that previous shadow and that previous brush and just kind of blur it together so that it's not harsh. So I'm taking that Tangelo Tint and that original Luxie 205 brush and kind of going back in here. So it looks something like this. Now I do like the taupey look, but I do want to richen this up just a tiny bit. So I am taking Coastal Scents Burnt Umber, or any sort of red brown that you have. I like this one because it's a little bit more chocolatey and less red. But you want to take a brush. So I'm using the brush that came with my Prism palette with Anastasia by Beverly Hills, the fluffy side. But you can use any blending brush for this. This one is a little bit smaller and a little bit more dense. Taking that burnt umber, and I'm just going to focus that kind of on the outside and the inside. Another trick for a halo eye is to take the flat shader brush. So I'm taking the one on the other side of this ABH brush, and I'm just using the flat shader side to really pack that color here and on the inner corner. And then taking the fluffy side to blend it together. So now I'm going in with Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear. So as you can see, this is also a red brown, but this one is more red tone. So this one is like a brown chocolate. This one has a red tone, only because I do want to richen it up just a tiny bit. And I'm going to take, we'll take that taupey color, the same brush I used for that taupe color brush, and we're going to deepen that up. And this one I am taking kind of all the way for the halo. Now I'm going to go back in with that original Tangelo tint color and going to pop this right back here in my transition area. Just because I do want a peak of yellow golden to, you know, shine through. Now I'm going to take the flat shader side, the same side as that ABH brush with that same color Cocoa Bear. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other brown color and pack it on each side with the shader brush. Just so that you can really see some of that reddish brown pop through. So this look does have a lot of shadows, and that's only because I really wanted to create some good dimension with this look. But if you want to simplify it, you know, you are more than welcome to. Now I'm going in with Coastal Scents Incognito. This is a black color. The reason why I'm using this one is because it's not an extremely pigmented black. It's kind of like a gray black. So if you have a black that kind of is more like a wash of a black, that's the one that you want to go with. And I'm also using a stiff tapered crease brush. This is also from Coastal Scents, and it's the same as the other brushes except for it's a little bit more stiff and dense, so it really gets kind of in areas closely. And I'm going to concentrate this Incognito color again on the outside and on the inside. I would not recommend going in with like a really pigmented black unless, you know, that's the look you're going for. But I want this to look gray, taupey, mauve-y. I don't really want it to be like extremely black. So as you can see, the space in the middle I'm leaving blank, and that's where we're going to put our shimmer color. So when it comes to your transitions color, your crease color, you want to stick with mattes. And then you want to reserve shimmers for your mobile lid or somewhere on the lid space. So that's just a little trick. But of course, if you want to do shimmer everywhere, you do you, boo. Do you. There are no rules in makeup. You can do whatever you want. So another tip, when you're doing your makeup, lay everything out in front of you. So lay your brushes out in front of you. Look at the shadows that you want to use. You know, think about where the shadows are going to be on your eye and what brush to use. And kind of just lay it out in front of you to make it easier if you are practicing. I know that mirrors and laying things out and good lighting, doing it in front of a window, really helped me kind of improve my skills, even though I'm not, you know, perfect. Now I'm going to go back in with that Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear again, and I'm going to put that right above all of that darkness that we just created, but below that yellow color. And this is just to blend out that top part. Since we created so much smokiness, we want to make sure it's, you know, the top edges are blended. And this is another reason why you need that initial wash of color, that initial transition color. Because if you're making all this darkness and you have nothing to fade it into, that's when you see people with eyeshadow that is just so stark black or stark colorful, and there's no blend to it because they didn't use a transition color. So think about when you're blending, when you're painting and you're blending two colors together, how that they kind of wash together. and really creates a nice fade. That's what we're going for when we use a lighter transition color to start. Now I'm going to go in for the center of my lid, and I'm going to put a little bit more of that MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I have some leftovers still on my hand, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to place that right in the center of my lid. And the reason why I'm using this first instead of just going on with my eyeshadow color is just so that it can really pop. So you can use any primer that you want. I also like to use the e.l.f. glitter primer. You can use any other concealer, but it's just to give it a base for something to stick to. Some people use MAC paint pots, those sorts of things. But I'm just going to use this leftover concealer, and I'm going to pop it right in the middle. Now, for some reason, this eye is my harder eye to create a halo on. I don't know if it's the way my eye is slanted or shaped, but this eye is hard to find the middle, whereas this eye is really easy. So just kind of, you know, based on your eye shape, try to concentrate it in the middle. And I'm taking a synthetic flat brush. This is also a Coastal Scents brush. It's just like a basic synthetic concealer brush. I don't have the name of this one in particular, and Coastal Scents doesn't list the names of their brushes on the brush. So it should look like this. Now I'm going to take Coastal Scents Burnished Wine. It's a really shimmery mauve-y color. Hopefully it's picking up on camera. And just another, you know, regular medium shader brush. Putting it on there. Popping it on the center of my lid. Now you can also spray your brush with a Fix Plus or some sort of water just to make the color pop if you like. And then this is optional, but I'm taking Coastal Scents Light Bronze. It's a very shimmery bronze color, and I'm placing that right on top. You don't have to do this. It's just that I had posted a picture of me wearing this earlier this week, and a lot of people wanted to see it. And this is the products that I use, so that's why I'm kind of adding them together. But you can just pick one. I mean, it's whatever. So then you have this. Now you have to blend out those edges. So I'm going back in with that Incognito color with that stiff crease brush. And I'm going to blend out these edges here. And taking some of that chocolatey color, the burnt umber, and just kind of placing it in between where the black ends and the shimmer starts, just so that there's some sort of gradient there. And the same thing on the other side. Going back in with Cocoa Bear to blend out the top gently. Now for this look, I did not use any liner, so I'm just going to pop on some mascara and some lashes. The lashes that I used for this look are the Christina WSPs. They're a very wispy lash. I love these. I get these off of Amazon, so they look like this. Just very crisscrossy, normal standard wispy lash. Now these do run kind of long. I normally don't have to cut my lashes to fit my eye shape, but these do run kind of long, so I do have to snip a little bit off the end. So I'm going to pop these on, and there's no liner for this look. I'm going to pop on my lashes. I'm going to do the other eye, and then I will be back for complexion. Okay guys, so I'm back with my other eye finished, and I lied. I did end up using some liner only because I'm not that great with lashes yet. So to conceal my lash band, I did use the Inglot Gel Liner number 77, which is a black color. You can use any liner you like, but I added a little bit just to conceal my lash line because my glue kind of got a little crazy. So that's what I did. So let's move on to complexion. I'm going to be priming my face today with we'll use this today. Hard Candy Sheer Coconut, Coconut Stick, Coconut Water, Coconut, oh my gosh. Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick, and I'm just going to put that all over my face. I really love this stuff. It's really cooling and refreshing. It's really nice. And then I'm going to take Maybelline Baby Skin and put that mostly in my T-zone because the Baby Skin is a pore filling primer. So if you have large pores, it'll be good for that. I kind of just press it in and then distribute the product. I'm just going to take this Mario Badescu Special Powder, Special Healing Powder. This is a sulfur powder that I just started using. And it's not a makeup product, it's a skincare product. But it's like this yellow based powder. I don't know if my camera's showing you. And I just put that on my T-zone area because that's where I tend to get breakouts. And that is to help that and it combat shine. So I normally get breakouts here, and not necessarily large breakouts, but like little things down here. This stuff has been pretty good. I use it also at nighttime before bed, but I just started using it maybe a week or so ago, and I'm just putting it on some old acne that I have there that's still healing. And as you can see, it really mattifies the area, and it does kind of have a yellow green tint, so gotta use just, you know, a little bit of it. Today's foundation I'm going to be using is the Maybelline Fit Me. This is a normal to oily skin. I am in the color, what am I? Oh, 335 Classic Tan. Now just taking a little bit of this. This much. And the way I like to apply my foundation for the most coverage is to take a concealer brush, swirl it in there, and then swipe it on like this. So basically I'm painting it on. And then I like to take a not extremely dense, but a dense round brush. So I have this one. This is the e.l.f. foundation blurring brush. I actually prefer the e.l.f. foundation or the e.l.f. powder blurring brush, the e.l.f. flat top kabuki. I have a bunch of different ones, but something like this shape, and then just press it in. And I find that this gives me the most coverage. And then just go in and do the other areas of my face. Now for concealer, it just depends on how I feel for the day. Sometimes I will go in and address these dark circles. Sometimes I just go right in with my brightening concealer. But for my dark circles, I like to use the IT Bye Bye Under Eye concealer. And I use it in the color Rich. And I also use this concealer if I don't feel like wearing foundation and I just kind of want to put it on. I will put it on and all my dark marks, and then just kind of put a powder over it. If you want to see how I film like a no makeup tutorial, or how I look when I do no makeup, then let me know. But this stuff is really good. It's like a brown, it's like a tan orange, because a lot of color correctors like the orange or the peaches I just think are a little bit too much for some reason. I don't know, they don't look good on me. But this one I like because it's still like a tan, but it's also has an orange undertone to really combat those dark circles. So that's that. I don't always use this, but today I felt like it. Now I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape. I use the color Tan Sand. And I'm going to highlight the center of my face. I just started using this. I know that a lot of people love Shape Tape. I don't know if I completely love it, y'all. I know the makeup gods are about to come get me. But I do like it. I think I just want to try a different color. I know that this is like a popular color for people with my complexion. I think it's, I don't know, like I think it's a tad bit lighter than I like, and it dries down like fast in my opinion. Taking a Real Techniques beauty sponge. But when I got married, my makeup artist used this on me. And she said this was a really good color for me. And I've seen a lot of women that are my complexion, you know, use the same color, but it's like really bright. Really bright. And I think I want to bring it down a notch. And a little goes a long way. Like, you do not need a ton of this concealer. Like right now, I feel like I put too much because I forget how pigmented this really is. And so I apply it like I apply my other concealers, and I need to like not do as much. So to help also blend this out, I take my foundation brush and whatever is left and just kind of go around the edges. Now I am gonna contour today. Normally I don't really cream contour, but today I'm going to. Whoop. This is the Amon foundation stick, and I have her in the color Earth 5. I'm gonna put that here, along my forehead and my jawline. Just a little bit, bring a little bit of color. Now this is a pretty drying foundation, so I'm actually going to use a brush instead of a beauty sponge for this, and I'm just going to press it in. I'm using that same foundation brush that I used, just because it's, like I said, it's drying, so I notice it doesn't blend as well when I use a beauty sponge. Even with the brush, you can see it. You got to put a little bit of work into it. Now I'm going to set those areas, and today I'm using my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on that damp beauty sponge, putting a little bit, blowing it off. Like so. Then I'm going to take the Laura Mercier translucent powder in medium deep. I love this one for my complexion. Oh my gosh, y'all. It's a little bit dark for like my normal tone, but I just love when I put everything on together, like the dimension it really creates. And I'm taking that same sponge, same process, and just putting it on the other areas that I did not highlight. I don't know, it just gives me a nice tan look. Because like I said, it's a tiny bit darker than my regular complexion, especially as we head into winter. But I just like how it looks on me. And then to kind of blend it all together, I either take the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, or I've also been using the IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation Illumination. This one has like a little bit of a sheen to it. It's up to you. I use either or interchangeably, and I normally take like either like a fluffy brush or like an angled fluffy brush and just kind of put that on to swirl everything together. So now I'm going to finish the under eye. So normally I save the under eye part for after I've done my complexion, so that I have my concealer on, everything is on and good to go, and I can do my under eye. So for my under eye, I'm going to take a shorter shader brush, and I think I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear, that red brown that we use, and place that under the eye. Then I'm going to line my waterline with MAC Costa Riche. This is like a red brown liner. The mascara that I like to use for my lower lash line is the MAC Studio Sculpt, because I really like this applicator wand. It's like very thin, and I 99% of the time get mascara on my face whenever I'm doing my mascara. I don't know why I have such a problem with it, but I do. But using this wand definitely makes it a little bit easier. And I have pretty long lashes, so I tend to get mascara everywhere. For a highlight today, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go in with the Becca primer. I'm so used to using my Becca primer. The Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Highlighter. And this is in the color Rose Gold. It's very pretty. My sorority sister put me onto this one. Taking a fan brush, dusting it off, and placing it on the highlighted areas. I love that these Becca highlighters give more of like a sheen, like that wet look. That is what I'm going for. And my nose, Cupid's bow. I like to put on the center, that's just me. I like to accentuate my 5 head even more than it already is. Then to make that pop just a tiny bit more, I'm taking the LA Girl Strobe Light strobing powder in 50 watt. It's like a light champagne-y gold. I'm taking it on the other side of my fan brush and just popping it right on top just to make it pop a tiny bit more. They have a bunch of these different colors for LA Girl. They're really pretty. I think I got mine at Walgreens. For blush today, I think I'm gonna go with my La Femme blush. I do this every time. Blush. In Brandy Ice. It's like a shimmery mauve color. It's very similar to, I don't know. It's just a shimmery mauve color on an angled brush. These are very, very, very pigmented. Again, I talk about La Femme blushes every single time because they're very pigmented. You get the most for your money. These are like $3 or $4, and I just got a bunch of pans and I make my own palettes. Look at that. Now for lips today, I will be lining my lips with MAC Cork lip liner, which is my favorite lip liner of all time. If any of you guys know any drugstore dupes for MAC Cork lip liner, let me know. I've heard that NYX has one. I can't remember. I saw it online that NYX has one, but when I got it, I didn't find it to be a dupe. So, wah, wah. Okay. Now I'm taking the Tarte's lip paints. I got this for the birthday. My birthday was the last year or this year? I don't remember. This is in birthday suit. I love this texture. They're so moussey and bouncy and like paint though, because they're so opaque. Like this is a nude, but look how opaque it is. So pretty. Now to bring just a tiny bit of gloss to the lip without actually applying gloss. This is the LA Girl Matte Flat Velvet Lipstick. I don't know why they say flat, matte, whatever, because this is not matte at all. This is in the color Snuggle. And I'm popping that right here. It's one of those mattes that it's more like a cream sheen, if that makes sense, from MAC, if you're familiar with those. Now I'm going to spray my face with the Milani Make It Last Matte Setting Spray. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. I just picked this up. They have a Make It Last, which is the matte version, and then they have a Make It Dewy, which is the dewy version. And this stuff is really, really, really good. I think it's a little bit pricey for a drugstore, but it's really good. So I'm just going to spray my face with this to lock in everything. Alright guys, so this is the final look, and I forgot to record it, but I did go ahead and pop on some of that LA Girl strobe light just in the inner corners of my eyes there. And this is how everything came out. I just love, love, love this look. It's so pretty. This is a very date night appropriate look and something sexy. So I hope you guys really like this tutorial. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. If you're interested in this wig piece, I will list that information down below so you can see that video on my thoughts on this hair that I am rocking today. But yeah guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. I love you guys supporting me, and have a great weekend. Bye.